Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing all of my favorite products that I tried in October. There's a lot of Chanel here because there were so many new launches, and I also sprinkled in a couple miscellaneous things. In fact, we're going to begin with a little unbagging I should say, from Valentino. I posted a little YouTube short about my shopping trip last weekend. My friend Shen and I went to the design district just to shop around and, enjoy the day together. The weather in Miami has been beautiful. It's already hot again, but it was in the 70s, sunny, which is so rare. So we spent the day just walking around outside, just enjoying each other's company, and we spotted this Pantone pop-up at Valentino. They redecorated the entire exterior of Valentino so that it is all bright pink, this PP pink. And then inside they had a little table set up with all of these different trinkets that said Pantone and Valentino. So I picked up just a couple things. You can see there's a little sticker on the bag. It says Pink PP by Valentino. This is the Valentino color of the season. You've seen it everywhere, I'm sure. They have pink bags, pink shoes, pink everything. And I was stopped in my tracks when I saw this cute little water bottle. And then I also picked up a notebook because I thought this would be really cute. I always need notebooks, and I thought it was really nice that it came in a bright fuchsia pink Valentino bag as well. All of the collaboration items were pretty reasonably priced. Of course, they were more expensive because they say Valentino and they have the logo, but not bad price points. In fact, I think a lot of the items would make beautiful holiday gifts for anybody who loves luxury, they love beauty, and you don't want to necessarily get them a Valentino purse or a pair of shoes. You could spring for a notebook. This notebook was $40. So yes, it's expensive for a notebook, but it's very pretty and it's a nice little keepsake. On the front and the back, it has the Valentino logo. It says Pantone Pink PP by Valentino. And even the spine of the notebook, I think, looks really chic. So even if you just wanted to kind of put this on display on a bookshelf, I think it would look really cool since it has the collaboration. Inside, just have some blank pages and then the logo in the front. So I thought this was really cute. I just wanted a piece of the collection. Completely random since we had no idea this pop-up existed, but if you're interested, they still have some supplies left, so I would run. I also picked up the Pantone Thermo stainless steel drinking bottle. This is something that I could actually get a lot of use out of. I think designer water bottles are kind of having a moment. Started with the Chanel launch last year. Everyone went crazy for them, and now Dior has water bottles. In fact, I believe I have a free Dior water bottle on the way to me because of their loyalty program. Prada has a really expensive water bottle, and I think you can actually buy even more luxurious Dior bottles. It wasn't a bad price point. I would have to check my receipt, but I wanted to say it was maybe $60, which is very expensive for a water bottle, but I think for a piece of the collection, it was well worth it. So I realize by now some of you might have a bit of Sephora fatigue from being bombarded with Sephora holiday savings event recommendations. This is what you need to buy. Certainly don't want to pile on to that, but I did want to very quickly talk about some of my favorite Sephora Pro collection brushes because I have mentioned these and how great they are. I think they are incredibly underrated, so I went through all of my makeup brushes and I pulled out the ones that I truly feel are essential to my makeup routine. I use these every single time I do my makeup. The first is the Pro Foundation number 56 brush. I love this foundation brush. It's one of my favorites. I do kind of rotate between a few favorite foundation brushes. What's kind of funny is that they all have a different shape. So I love them for different reasons, and I guess it just depends on my mood and what foundation I'm using, but the Sephora Pro 56 brush is incredible for foundation. This is really great for any products that you might have to stipple or you kind of want to press them into the skin, and the purpose for doing that will be that it kind of melts into your primer, your skincare, your skin. It kind of pushes the product closer to the skin so that it leaves you looking a little bit more natural, a little bit more flawless. I use it mostly for foundation, but I think the size is kind of perfect for cream contour, cream blush, cream bronzer. Because it's a little bit smaller, it ensures that you don't accidentally spread the product too far. Sometimes if I'm going in with a cream bronzer and I have a larger brush and I kind of tap it on my cheek, suddenly the entire cheek is bronze, where I really just want to hit those, very precise points where the sun would normally hit my face. So this one I definitely recommend. And all of these brushes are 30% off right now for all tiers. All Beauty Insiders get 30% off Sephora collection, and that includes the Pro brushes. This next one is the Pro Contour 79 brush. I actually use this for powder. It's the perfect size, it's nice and small, so I guess it would be good for contour, but I think the size is really great for setting the under eye. So if I'm going in with a really brightening powder and I don't necessarily want to set the entire face, this is really perfect for getting those small areas. So right underneath the eye, kind of center points of the face, a little bit on the chin, but the powder isn't going to spread too far. And it has the perfect density, it's the perfect length. Another incredible brush that I have 3 of them. I use them every time I do my makeup. I also love, this is a new favorite, the Pro Blush 99 brush. Now this is not to be confused with the Pro 96. The 99 I like a little bit more than the 96. I used to use this and I'm happy with it. I think it's a great brush, but if I had to choose, I would go with the 99 because I'll show you the difference. The 99 is a little bit smaller and it comes to more of kind of a diamond top. It's sort of tapered, whereas the 96 is rounded. This one allows you to be so precise on the face. So whenever I'm tapping on my blush, and I just want it right here, right above the little cheek hollow, this ensures that I can get it right on the apple of the cheek, but it's not going to go too far. And I also like using this brush to set my under eye for powder because it tapers to that diamond shape. It makes it so easy. This has a little blush on it, so I want to be careful. You can be so precise getting right in the corner of the eye and just kind of pressing. Because it's more of a flat shape, you can kind of press the powder into the concealer to set. Beautiful for setting the under eye as well as being nice and precise for your blush. The Pro Powder 59 brush, this is a newer one, so it's not quite as spread out. I have an older 59 brush that looks a little bit wider because I've been using it so much. This I use for bronzer, and it's amazing. It really helps you diffuse the product, but it's not too huge. So they just did a really great job. I love the shape and it picks up product beautifully. I use this always for my powder bronzer. And then the 57 brush, this is a Pro Concealer brush. You've seen me use this quite a bit, especially for kind of blending out the concealer a little bit, but not all the way. This is the brush that I normally use. And then I do go in with a Sigma 79 brush. That is my all-time favorite concealer brush, but I will also use this. And if I needed to spot treat points on the face, if I'm going in with my little NARS pot concealer, I use this. I also use this for kind of touch up, to fix things. It just comes in handy. It's one of those brush shapes that I've never owned a brush like this before the 57. I don't think a lot of these really exist out there, and I have found so many uses for it. For the eyes, my favorite is the 19. This is the 19 crease brush. It is perfection. It's perfectly tapered. It allows you to be pretty precise if you're building up depth and dimension in the outer V, but also if you just kind of want to blend something in the crease. The length is great, the density is great, picks up the product. It truly does blend the eyeshadow, and it lays down product really nicely as well because it's pretty dense. I don't know if this would be considered a random product or if maybe it's just a category I never speak about on my channel. It's kind of niche, but if any of you work out regularly, if any of you are athletes or you just get muscle soreness, maybe you just get cramps in your neck, you will love this. It's the Revive Sport Pain Relief Roll-On. This one has arnica and cooling menthol. There's another one with CBD, but this one is my personal favorite. So whenever we went to the Keys a couple of weeks ago, that was back in September, at the resort where we stayed, they had pickleball courts, and my husband and I played pickleball for hours every single day. It became our thing. We loved it so much, we ordered our own pickleball set on the way home. And last weekend, we went to our local courts and we played. And it's such a fun game, but our bodies are just not used to it. I was so sore the next day. We were both laughing about it. We're like, where are you sore? All over? Yeah, me too. This completely came in handy. But the first time I tried it was actually at a yoga event a couple weeks ago. And it's so intense. It feels very cooling. It doesn't really become hot. It's not like icy hot. It really just feels cool and refreshing. But it just takes the pain away. If you have like a really kind of dull muscle pain from maybe a strain or just working out too much, this is going to make it feel so much better, and it lasts a really long time. I discovered Revive because a good friend of mine works on the brand, and I attended a lunch with them last week, and I actually got to meet the chemist who formulated all of the products, which was really interesting. But at that point, I had already become a fan. I already fell in love with the products because they truly work. So it's really best for somebody who has an extreme muscle pain, to the point where maybe you're thinking about taking an Advil or some sort of anti-inflammatory. You don't really want to just muscle through. You need some type of relief. This will help you out big time. I want to get into some makeup now, starting with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palettes. I picked up both. I don't think anyone needs both. I was just sort of curious. I wanted to compare them because they both seemed like shades that I could use, and I'm convinced that I can, but this is the fair to medium. This is medium to deep, but I've said it several times when I talk about these. I think they both kind of meet towards the middle of the spectrum, so both of these would work beautifully on medium skin because the deep shade, this one looks kind of burgundy red in the pan, this one looks a little bit more fuchsia. They go on so sheer, so as long as you're light-handed, you can make this work if you have light skin. If you have a deep skin, you can build it up. It will look beautiful, and I think the highlighters and the blush topper will probably complement your skin tone a little bit better. The texture of these powders is almost a bit dry, not in a bad way, but they're not really buttery, creamy. They don't go on extremely intense, and it actually gives a bit of a softer look overall, which I really like. I would say it's borderline natural, soft and subtle, which isn't what comes to mind when I think Charlotte Tilbury, but the highlighters are very pretty. They do look a little bit more natural. I love the pink highlighter in this fair to medium palette. It is so beautiful, and I love the packaging of these palettes. I also really like this kind of peachy Pillow Talk blush up here. This is such a killer combination, and I even think the Intense blush is really gorgeous. So I love both of these. I would highly recommend them for the Sephora Holiday Savings event. If you were interested in picking them up, but you didn't really want to pay full price, might be a great time to take advantage of the discount. Let's talk about the Chanel holiday collection this year. These are my favorite pieces. This was one of my favorite Chanel holiday collections, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me. I think this year's holiday collection launched maybe a little bit too closely to the tweed eyeshadow palettes, which were so popular, and there was so much buzz and excitement leading up to that launch that it almost felt a bit anticlimactic to see the holiday collection. Yes, these are colors that we usually see for holiday from Chanel, but it's because they're the classic holiday colors like red, gold. You're always going to see those colors in some capacity, but these lipsticks I love. It's the Rouge Allure Lac formula, so it's kind of a liquid creamy lipstick. It's a bit funny. It's not a matte finish. They maintain a little slip, and they're beautiful shades. This is the shade that I'm wearing today. It's 88 Rose Mystère. Such a pretty color, and I did my best to only do a very light layer because you have to be careful. If you build up too much product on your lips, which you can do if you're, just trying to get the lip line correct, you might go over and over a few times and end up with too much product. It can start to feel thick on the lips, so you just have to be careful. If you apply just a normal amount of lipstick, you will be fine. And I also really love the red shade, 89 Rouge Ombre. This is such a pretty red. When you look very closely, it has a slight gold sheen to it, but you can't feel it, you can't really see it. It's definitely not sparkly, and I wouldn't even say it's metallic. I also really love both of the oversized illuminating face powders. These are so glamorous and beautiful. I was shocked the first time I saw these in store because I didn't realize based on the photos that these came in the large jumbo compacts. And I know some people think this is really inconvenient because they're kind of too large for a small makeup bag now, but I think they're so beautiful. This to me is very luxurious. It's holiday, it's something special, limited edition, and the shades are gorgeous. So this is the deeper shade. It's Cuivre Doré. So it's a beautiful kind of deep antique bronze. Looks so pretty, just kind of dusted on the shoulders for somebody with my skin tone. And then this is the Or Rose, a rose gold. Even this is a little bit too dark for my face. The first time I used it during my initial review, when I was watching the video back when I was editing, I thought, oh no, it's a little bit dark. I think I can get away with it if I'm very light-handed, but I've been using this since, and I'll use it on the eyes and the face and the cheeks. I mean, it works. I was a bit heavy-handed the first time around. I've since learned my lesson, but it is just a gorgeous kind of flesh-toned highlight. So it looks very pretty dusted on the tops of the cheeks. But this compact is so big. I mean, you can kind of dust it on your neck, chest, décolleté, especially for holiday parties, and it will just leave your skin looking magical. So I love both of these. I think they're super special. I also really like this year's eyeshadow quad. This is the 937 Ombre de Lune eyeshadow palette. It's stunning, and it's a bit deceptive because you think it's just kind of a normal brown eyeshadow palette, but it's not. It pulls very warm and it's very kind of pumpkin bronze. These colors are not dupable in my Chanel eyeshadow collection. It's really interesting. I remember reading so many comments when the sneak peeks were first posted to Instagram, and everyone was saying it looks dirty, it looks muddy, it just looks like boring earth tones. And in the palette, when you're just looking at it, I think in person it's a lot prettier than photos, but when you swatch it, that's when you can really see the colors and the intensity of these shadows. They're so pretty, and these are colors that I generally like to wear, warmer earth tones. So in my opinion, it's a beautiful eyeshadow palette. I really like this kind of sparkly gold shade down here. Looks so pretty, like popped right in the center of the lid. Goes on a little bit more sheer. And then this shade up here is the perfect transition shade in the crease, which is very rare for a Chanel eyeshadow quad. So I actually think this is a very complete quad. And lastly, for the holiday collection, the nail polishes. I love all of them. I desperately need to paint my nails right now. I didn't have time before I sat down to film. I didn't want to waste the morning painting my nails, so my nail polish right now is chipped, you'll have to pardon me. But I have worn all three of these shades. So I did this top coat. This is the 347 Étoile Shimmering Amber top coat on top of this one, the 965 Clair de Lune, and it looked so pretty. This is a really nice combination. This gold almost looks army green. It's very dark, but the combination of the two together I think looks very nice. It's very kind of vampy fall. And then this is a gorgeous red. This is 963 Super Lune. Is it that different from other Chanel reds? No, it's not. I didn't have a Chanel red in my collection, so for me this was a wonderful purchase. But if you already own a lot of Chanel reds, especially deeper Chanel red polishes, this probably isn't going to be anything special. We also had the launch of the new Sublimage Le Correcteur Yeux concealer. I picked up shade 10, and as much as I am not a huge fan of jar packaging, it looks gorgeous, very luxurious, sitting on a countertop or vanity. The actual concealer is really nice. It's very perfecting, gives great coverage. I think the finish is more of a natural finish, and it doesn't crease at all, at least not in my experience. I have forced myself to keep using this, keep testing it with other foundations, and it's passed every test, so I have to include it on my list of favorites because price aside, packaging aside, the concealer itself is really beautiful. A little bit of product is all you need, so I think this jar will last a really long time, and it comes with a little brush, which I think is in one of my drawers, but the brush that it comes with the concealer is really, really good. So it would be great for maybe travel. I don't think I would use it on a daily basis. I haven't been using it since my initial review, but in the future, I will use the concealer brush if I take this with me somewhere. It's not travel-friendly packaging though, that's the thing. If you want to make your concealer or any complexion product more radiant, I recommend going in with the Dalba First Spray Serum. I talked about this in a video I think a couple weeks ago. I did a sponsorship with them. That post was sponsored, this post is not, but I've actually used this product before. They sent this to me over a year ago, I believe, and I'm kind of down here on that first bottle. It's in the bathroom right now. I love this spray serum because I use it as a face setting mist, a concealer spray, maybe a beauty blender spray. I use it more to incorporate skincare with my makeup than I do for the serum element. But it's kind of nice having a liquid serum so you can really infuse any of your makeup products with skincare. It's so easy. It's really fine. It has a beautiful scent. And I've been using this every time I do my concealer now. Now that I'm reminded about the product because I had it and I was using it and then I forgot about it. I have so many products. It does get overwhelming, but I definitely recommend checking them out. They're one of the best Korean skincare brands, and this leaves the most beautiful, natural looking glow to your complexion. It's not like a glittery powder highlight glow. And I wouldn't even say it's a sticky, tacky, balmy glass skin. It just looks like your skin is radiant from skincare. So it's very reflective, but it leaves everything looking nice and smooth, not greasy. It doesn't emphasize texture. Sometimes with foundations and other makeup products, if they're too radiant, they end up looking really terrible. So I would rather go in with the products that look best on my skin and then kind of enhance them with the spray serum. And finally, I have two fragrances here to talk about. The first is the new Prada perfume. This is Prada Paradox. I love the bottle. I love the scent. It's kind of sweet floral jasmine. There's a hint of warmth, a hint of amber in there. So pretty, so much fun to wear, and it's just an easy grab. I've really enjoyed wearing this fragrance and I love the bottle. I think this is going to be one of the hottest fragrances for gifting this year because everybody's going to want this. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful to keep just on your vanity, and the fragrance inside smells really nice. Not overly unique, but still really incredible. And then for men, I love the new Florist, the number 007 Eau de Parfum. This is in celebration of the 60th anniversary of James Bond. The first time I smelled this fragrance, wow. I immediately fell in love. It is intoxicating, mouth-watering, just the sexiest fragrance for men. This to me smells like the most attractive man, but he's not cocky. He's kind of a little bit shy, very humble, but I cannot wait for my husband to start wearing this fragrance. I haven't officially gifted it to him yet because it smells so good. I don't really want to get rid of it. But if you are looking for a fragrance for a husband, a man in your life, highly recommend checking this out. I know our local Neiman Marcus has a florist counter, so you should be able to find it in Neiman's. 007 smells like the sexiest James Bond character ever. And that completes my list of October favorites. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I'm always so curious to know what your favorite things are. If you discovered something new last month, or maybe you've just been in love with an old favorite, drop it down below in the comments section. We'll keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.